Hello, I'm Sean Clark, the president of the Hibernian Society of Utah, and I'm pleased that you're back for our third and final installment of the Irish Poetry series. It was such an honor to join this impressive group of Hibernian readers and to feel uplifted and moved by the words of our Irish poets. Having the chance to celebrate this important part of our culture underscores the significance of what we do as an organization to keep our traditions alive. And alive they are. I hope you enjoyed this last segment of our poetry series, and I hope you're getting excited about our halfway to St. Patrick's Day and way overdue parade event on September 25th at the Gateway. So enjoy the poems and can't wait to see you in person. Sláinte.
This is a poem on the other side of revenge. This is prior to the Easter Rebellion, Patrick Pearse, which Jennifer gave a tremendous introduction to, poet and writer and playwright and leader of the Irish Rebellion and all of those other things. He was a man who did have some grudges, and justifiably so, I think, but that's neither here nor there. This piece was Neil T. O'Connor's performance piece. And he did it extempore and in a fashion that I can never hope to match. And so I'm not going to try to impersonate Neil. But I do this in memory of Neil, who we also lost this year, along with many others. Patrick Pearse, the Rebel. I have come of the seed of the people that sorrow, that have no treasure but hope, no riches laid up but a memory of ancient glory. My mother bore me in bondage my mother was born. I am of the blood of serfs. The children with whom I have played, the men and the women with whom I have eaten, they have had masters over them and have been under the lash of masters, and though gentle, have served churls. The hands that have touched mine, the dear hands whose touch is familiar to me, have worn shameful manacles, have been bitten at the wrist by manacles, have grown hard with the manacles and the task work of strangers. I am flesh of the flesh of these lowly. I am bone of their bone. I have never submitted. I that have a soul greater than the souls of my people's masters. I have a vision and prophecy and the gift of fiery speech. I that have spoken with God on the top of his high holy hill. And because I am of the people, I understand the people. I am sorrowful with their sorrow. I am hungry with their desire. My heart has been heavy with the grief of mothers. My eyes have been wet with the tears of children. I have yearned with old wistful men and laughed and cursed with young men. Their shame is my shame, and I have reddened for it. Reddened for that they have gone in want while others have been full. Reddened for that they have walked in fear of lawyers and of their jailers with their writs of summonses and their handcuffs, mean men and cruel. I could have borne stripes on my body rather than this shame of my people. And I say to my people that they are holy, that they are august despite their chains, that they are greater than those that hold them and stronger and purer, that they have but need of courage and to call on the name of their God, God the unforgetting, the dear God that loves the people for whom he died a naked, suffering shamed. And I say to my people's masters, beware. Beware the thing that is coming. Beware of the risen people who shall take what you would not give. Did you think to conquer the people and that law is stronger than life and men's desire to be free? We will try it out with you. Ye that have harried and held, ye that have bullied and bribed, tyrants, hypocrites, liars. Sorry, Neil.
This poem was written by Eva Gore Booth, a sister of Constance Markovitz. Like her sister, she was a fierce crusader for many causes, although she chose a path of nonviolence rather than the path her sister chose. She wrote this poem for her sister while Constance was imprisoned after the Easter Rising in 1916. I'd like to dedicate this poem to those we have lost this year, the Hibernians we have lost this year, who championed the Hibernian causes over the years, including A Night with the Irish Poets, which we celebrate this evening. Comrade by Eva Gore Booth. The peaceful night that round me flows breaks through your iron prison doors. Free through the world your spirit goes, forbidden hands are clasping yours. The wind is our confederate. The night has left her doors ajar. We meet beyond earth's barred gate, where all the world's wild rebels are. Thank you.
I'm going to read a poem by Seamus Heaney. It's about the rebellion of 1798, and it's called Requiem for the Croppies. The Croppies refers to the way that they were styling their hair. They cut their hair very short. The French were colluding with the Irish in this rebellion. It was a failed rebellion. And so those that were part of this failed rebellion were known as the Croppies. Requiem for the Croppies by Seamus Heaney. The pockets of our greatcoats full of barley, no kitchens on the run, no striking camp. We moved quick and sudden in our own country. The priest lay behind ditches with the tramp. A people hardly marching on the hike. We found new tactics happening each day. We'd cut through reins and rider with the pike and stampede cattle into infantry. Then retreat through hedges where the cavalry must be thrown, until on Vinegar Hill, the fatal conclave. Terraced thousands died, shaking scythes at cannon. The hillside blushed, soaked in our broken ways. They buried us without shroud or coffin. And in August, the barley grew up out of the graves.
Croppies were amazing. Remarkably done. I have a poem that that Katie McMahon was originally going to read. Katie, I understand, had an injury. She's a regular part of the poetry reading, and so we're sorry to miss her. But there are some references in this poem to Kathleen. Well, the poem is called Red Hanrahan's Song About Ireland. It's by William Butler Yeats. There's some references to Kathleen, daughter of Houlihan. Kathleen Houlihan is an embodiment of Ireland, of a free and independent Ireland in Yeats's imagining. He wrote a play of that name as well. I will leave all that aside and just jump into it. Red Hanrahan's Song About Ireland by William Butler Yeats. The old brown thorn trees break in two high over Cuman's strand. Under a bitter black wind that blows from the left hand, our courage breaks like an old tree in a black wind and dies. But we have hidden in our hearts the flame out of the eyes of Kathleen, the daughter of Houlihan. The wind has bundled up the clouds high over Knocknarea and thrown the thunder on the stones for all that Maeve can say. Angers that are like noisy clouds have set our hearts abeat. but we have all bent low and kissed the quiet feet of Kathleen, the daughter of Houlihan. The yellow pool has overflowed high up on Cuthnaber, for the wet winds are blowing out of the clinging air. Like heavy flooded waters, our bodies and our blood, but purer than a tall candle before the holy rood, is Kathleen, the daughter of Houlihan. Thank you.
Okay, this poem is once again by Evan Boland, and it's entitled, Rereading Oliver Goldsmith's Deserted Village in a Changed Ireland. Boland wrote a lot about Ireland and the changes that have occurred in her lifetime. Goldsmith was upset that his beloved village, Lissoy, was dying and due to immigration and other things. And she is upset at how much her village of Dundrum, my husband lived in Dundrum for almost a year in 1969. So he understands her concern about that. And I live in a historic district of Sugar House. And if you've been all you have to do is drive through and you know why this poem speaks to me. It was written, she wrote it in 15 sections. They're small sections, so don't panic. And she numbered them. So I'm going to number them because she did. Seems, I don't know, I think it's important. Okay. Rereading Oliver Goldsmith's Deserted Village in a Changed Ireland by Evan Boland. 1. Well, not for years, at least not then or then. I never looked at it, never took it down. The place was changing, that much was plain. Land was sold, the little river was paved over with stone. Lilac ran wild. Our neighbors opposite put out the for sale sign. 2. All the while, I let Goldsmith's old lament remain where it was, high on my shelves, stacked there at the back. Dust collecting on its out-of-date, other century, superannuated pain. 3. I come from an old country. Someone said it was past its best. It had missed its time. But it was beautiful. Blue suggested it. Green defined it. Everywhere I looked, it provided mirrors, mirror flashes, sounds. Its name was not Ireland. It was rhyme. 4. I returned there for a moment as the days wind back, staying long enough to hear vowels rise around the name of a place. Goldsmith's origin, but not his source. Lissoy, signal and sibilance of a river hamlet with trees. 3. And stay another moment to summon his face, to see his pen work the surface, to watch lamp black inks laying phrase after phrase on the island, the village he is taking every possible care to erase. 6. And then I leave. 7. Here in our village of Dundrum, the manor laundry was once the corn mill. The laundry was shut and became the bowling alley. The main street held the petty sessions and dispensary. 8. A spring morning, a first gleam of sunshine in Mulvey's builder's yard. The husbands and wives in the walled graveyard who brought peace to one another's bodies are not separated. Oh, but wait, Mulvey's hardware closed down years ago. The cemetery cannot be seen from the road. 9. Now visitors come from the new town center, built on the site of the old mill, their arms weighted down with brand names, fashioned labels, bags. 10. Hard to know which variant of our country this is. Hard to say which variant of sound to use at the end of this line. 11. We were strangers here once. Now someone else is living out their first springtime under these hills. Someone else feels the sudden ease that comes when the wind veers south and warms rain. Would any of it come back to us if we gave it another name? Sweet Auburn, loveliest village of the plains. 12. In the spring dusk, I walk to the town center. I stand listening to a small river, closed in and weeping. Everyone leaving in the dusk with a single bag, the way souls are said to enter the underworld with one belonging and no one remembering. 13. A subject people knows this. The first loss is through history. The final one is through language. 14. It is time to go back to where I came from. 15. I take down the book. Centuries and years fall softly from the page. Sycamores, monasteries, a schoolhouse, and river-loving trees, their leaves casting iron-colored shadows, are falling and falling as the small town of Lissoy sinks deeper into sweet Augustan double talk and disappears.
All right, Chris, you take it away.
Thank you. I'm going to be reading Blessing of Peace, Healing for you this evening. Deep peace I breathe unto you. O weariness here, O ache here. Deep peace, a soft white cloud to you. Deep peace, a quiet rain to you. Deep peace, an ebbing wave to you. Deep peace, red wind of the east from you. Deep peace, gray wind of the west to you. Deep peace, dark wind of the north from you. Deep peace, blue wind of the south to you. Deep peace, pure red of the flames to you. Deep peace, pure white of the moon to you. Deep peace, pure green of the grass to you. Deep peace, pure brown of the earth to you. Deep peace, pure gray of the dew to you. Deep peace, pure blue of the sky to you. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing wave to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the deepening stones to you. Deep peace of the yellow shepherd to you. Deep peace of the wandering shepherdess to you. Deep peace of the flock of stars to you. Deep peace of the Son of Peace to you. Deep peace of the heart of Mary to you. And from Bridget of the Mantle, deep peace. Deep peace. Thank you.
Very nice. That was beautiful.